right. Good evening, everybody. And you are checking me out live on our live show right here, Philly Funk Television. Forgot to put this up. Wait, did I forget something here? Hold on. Forgot to put this up. Look. Here's my graphic. There we go. I'm your host, Jerry Wilson. All right. Now we can turn that down. All right, so yeah, we're here live and direct, and what is today? It's Friday, right? And we're gonna go to our co-host, as always, Mr. Van Stone. Van, good evening. How you doing?
Yes, and is it really evening or is it afternoon or I don't know? The time is 5:04. I'm glad you brought that up. So we need to start these shows to let people know what time we're broadcasting. So this is, of course, Philly Funk Television, Philly Funk Radio, and this is the Philly Live Show. And, of course, I'm Van Stone. So we're just glad to have everybody here viewing us. Just in case you want to reach out to us to be a part of our show, I'm going to throw out the number. The contact number is 610-803-1624. Once again, that's 610-803-1624. And you can check us out on the web. Of course, the website is V as in Victor, S as in Sam, P as in Paul, the word foundation at yahoo.com. That's VSP Foundation at yahoo.com. So welcome, everybody. I just got, two topics to jump right into. Number one, we're going to pick up from what we talked about yesterday, safe streets. And we were touching on something very important because safe streets can really mean a whole lot of different things. One subject that was brought up about the safe streets issues here in Philadelphia is how is the new mayor-elect Sherrell Parker going to handle this upcoming presidential election? And this is really going to be a serious matter concerning black voters here in Philadelphia. So what do you think about that, Jerry?
Well, I do know that Mayor Parker, she is going to have her hands full from day one when she gets in office. And I dread the first major incident that happens in the city under her leadership because you see how much they just went after the last police commissioner, Daniel Outlaw, whereas it got to the point where some of the comments got to be racial, some of the stuff got to be sexist, misogynistic against her, and I pray for the new mayor because this city is rough, really rough, especially when it comes to females, and especially now being a black female. She's really gonna have a hard time, and I hope she has a thick enough skin to tolerate it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not worried about that because if you check into her history, she stated that very clear with her victory speech. The challenger was David O. He was an Asian American born here, raised in Philly. She's from Philly. And most of us from Philly, we already know how it is. From kids, we have to, just be tough about a lot of different things. And of course, right now, she went through really letting everybody know how eventually she became a parent, and then eventually she became a city council person, and now today she is the first black woman mayor. So the bottom line with that is that, when we talk about the former police commissioner, the fact is, yes, they did sort of run her out of here. And basically, she might have received some death threats and other things like that. That's how Philly is. So when it comes to the streets and we needing safe streets, if this attitude is what it is here in Philly, then eventually if they're not, really happy with the top police officer, they may even attack that person. So I think that was maybe one of the reasons why she just resigned.
Oh, I know she took a nice job with the I think with the New Jersey New York Port Authority as like their chief safety officer. So I'm not going to cry for her, but it's just a point that I felt needed to be made. That I mean, the city's going to be really rough on her.
Well, yeah, it's a powerful point. But again, I mean, we're not debating about it. Yeah, they're going to try to be rough. They're going to hope that she failed. You just got to look at the history of black women in general and leadership roles. You look at the last well-known pharaoh of Egypt. I mean, I'm going that way. Was Cleopatra. She was actually a pharaoh. And if you look at her life story, I mean, just for a woman to make it, it's just very difficult, extremely difficult, not saying very. And yet, with all of the challenges and trying to run her out of there. In fact, Cleopatra, she actually had to run away at one point. Her life was in danger, and then she came back. So we hope that, of course, that the mayor-elect here, Sherelle Parker, is not going to face anything like that, life-threatening. But I mean, this is why we're here. We're going to support her. We're going to stand behind her. And if things are said that's out of line, then we're the media. We're going to let that be known for sure.
All right. So, anyway, so I wanted to know what else you wanted to bring up this evening. There's a lot of stuff in the news. I don't know if you wanted to even touch what's going on right now over in with the whole Israeli-Palestine situation. I don't know. Did you want to talk about that, or did you want to?
Oh yeah, of course, of course. That has everything to do with Philadelphia. We have people who are from Israel, the Jewish people, they're Jewish Americans, they're here, Philadelphians. This is a hub for the Jewish community here in Philly. But we also have a large hub of Palestinian people. And so my bottom line is that I know that a lot of people are frustrated with President Biden because when you think about how Black Americans are treated here, especially right here in Philly, we're not receiving the emergency response. Philadelphia is an emergency response. The killings are just unbelievable. The crime is just unbelievable. And when it comes to us as Black Americans, then we're not getting from the president an announcement every day to do what? A ceasefire and do this and do that so that the Black Americans can stop dying the way we are. We're being killed by the police. We're being killed by blacks. We're being killed by all kind of people. So now you talk about this war that's going on, and it's just crazy that the victims on both sides are suffering, but the ongoing suffering right now in the war, the Palestinians, that's our people. That's our people personally. They're Black like us, and yeah, we know that you're trying to target the enemy there, but is there any other way to do it except for just go all out and just kill everybody, blow up hospitals? This is a bad situation.
Well, yeah, because that's what I'm hearing. That initially, yes, Hamas did attack Israel, but from my understanding, that Israeli just took this thing to a whole nother level. Like they're basically committing war crimes over in the Palestinian territory right now. I mean, and it's a shame. Like you said, on both sides, it's really a shame because it's supposed to be a war between Israel and Hamas, but it ends up being a war between the citizens of both places, and they're the ones that always get caught up, and they're the ones that always have to suffer.
Right. Well, right now, I mean, there's no place for the people to go. So just imagine, like we had that here in Philly. You remember when they did the so-called riot on all of the stores? And this was citywide, except for in the nice neighborhood, where the white people lived. But in all the areas of the Black community where the Black dollars, basically we're the hub of making money for this city. And so all throughout the city, even Center City, everything was just trash, vandalism. And so, the police could do nothing. Think about that example. Did the police just start shooting, all these people who was breaking into everything? And this is like in broad daylight. We had helicopters. What did they do? If the police did get involved, they just came to a certain point and then they backed off. No live rounds was really fired. And then they did have something that's similar to a tank that actually came into the community right down my street here on Walnut Street in Philadelphia. I actually saw it with my own eyes. And yet that tank only shot out, which wasn't even rubber bullets. It was some other kind of, round that the military can use to really not harm a person. So that's how they handle that here. There was no deaths. Yet you're talking about, so when it comes to the Hamas and they're grabbing people and they won't even let the people flee. They're using the hospital as a shield. They're beneath the hospital, and the electric is cut off. The water is cut off. I don't even know how a hospital can operate if all these things is cut off. And then in the end, all these explosions and all these, children and just men, women, just destroyed, man, life on.
So how do you think this is going? Not how, but when? How long do you think this is going to continue until they?
Oh, this is going to continue on for years. This is not going to stop.
Oh, gotcha.
Sure.
So at what point do you feel the U.S. should be involved? Because now, I guess, in addition to us sending a whole bunch of money over to Ukraine, now we're sending a whole bunch of money over to Israel.
Right. Well, they can't seem to get the money to Israel right now. Otherwise, the money really would go. See, that's the debate right now. Should this money go into effect that the president wants to release? Yes, we support Israel. Okay. But again, that's my whole point. Where are all these other people going to go? They're just living in what they consider like a big graveyard now. I mean, it's just really terrible. And of course, the United States, I don't know. Are they going to really handle this the right way? Right now, things is not going that well.
All right. Did you want to go ahead and take our break?
Yeah, let's take a break because I got another hot topic when we come back. The hottest topic right now, I don't know if you are aware of it, but in the entertainment industry, the music artist P. Diddy, who doesn't know who P. Diddy is? Well, he's been accused of a major, allegedly rape. And the backstory is just crazy on it.
Yeah, I heard, and apparently they say Will Smith is up to some more shenanigans too. I don't know if you want to get into that. Anyway.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So we'll be we'll be right back after this.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
Helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
All right. Let me go to camera number 1. We are back, and we're going to go back to Van and our second topic for the evening. There you are. Okay. You're back. Let's
All
bring
right,
you back
yeah.
up.
So just in case you joined the show, of course, I'm Van Stone, and I'm here with Jerry Wilson. We are, of course, part of the Van Stone team. And, we're just pushing topics of importance and try to have some fun. So we cover everything.
All right,
of course,
go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I want to get into this because You probably know more about this story than me. I just seen a little bit of it. I want you to get into this Diddy thing because I don't know a whole lot about it.
Okay, well, there's a former music artist named Cassidy, and this female artist, she's beautiful, beautiful black woman, and at the time she was very young when she started dating P Diddy. And what's interesting with these artists, like when do they actually come in relationship with some of these people who really blow up, and you don't know what they have to go to become superstars. So allegedly, the whole time during the relationship. This is a civil trial, not a federal trial at the moment, just to make that clear. Allegedly, she was forced to have sexual intercourse with several males while Diddy watched on. He was physically abusive, from using his hands, things like that. Hey, what's up, Warren?
Yeah, so we're finally in. Good evening.
Okay, well, we'll stand by because we're talking about the entertainment industry, and we're talking about the latest story where there is allegedly a rape against Cassidy, the music artist, which was formerly the girlfriend of P. Diddy. So and you're all in the music industry, so I'm sure you have an opinion on about this. But I was just explaining to our viewers.
I know all the facts about it. I think.
Well, I'm giving out. That's what Jerry told me to spill it out now. So when you came in, I'm gonna not repeat, but I'm gonna finish some of the accusations allegedly. So one of the things is that he was very abusive, physically, verbally, and also in the end, forced rape, where she was trying to end the relationship allegedly. I guess in his anger, he raped Cassidy, and so this is like the short of it. And of course, he denies all of it. But this is a civil trial, and so we're talking some serious money here. P Diddy, in his defense, is saying she tried to use a smear tactic, blackmail, asking for $30 million. If he didn't give it to her, then this is what would happen. That's his response. And her, of course, the young, beautiful woman, in the music industry is just tough, especially for the young women, and especially if they're beautiful. So we really don't know if this is a lifestyle situation. But this is premiere. So before you say anything, Warren, let me throw it back to Jerry. Jerry, you said you wanted to hear it. So let me throw it back to Jerry.
Well, I know there have been a lot of allegations against Diddy in the last years, but actually this one kind of surprises me because, the other allegations had alleged that he had relationships with males. So this is kind of, we'll see where this goes.
Well, this is major. Well, no, go ahead, Warren. What's your take on it?
Yeah, being in, of course, the music industry and showbiz like this, a lot of times people will try to capitalize on somebody's millions and things like that. I wouldn't be surprised, quote unquote. Nevertheless, P. Diddy has been shrouded in controversy over the past couple of years, like you said, with his sexuality. And but if it's involving a woman, I think that's a good thing.
Well,
as opposed to,
it's never a good thing when you're accused of assault.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Jeff?
No, I said it's never a good thing when you're accused of assault.
No, not in that context. No, but however, yes, assault of any kind is not good, and if a woman was assaulted, then that's her official complaint. Then that's something that's a very serious issue. Sexual assault is a very serious issue, and he's got the money for the lawyers, and he's going to need one if that's the case. But he has to prove it. Now they have to prove that he was assaulted.
This is a very, very serious accusation because a criminal case can be opened. So this is about in New York, because this is filed in New York. So this is based on all the victims who ran out of time, the statute of limitations. They have been victimized, and so many people, male and females, have gotten away with it. We know one of the most notorious females who she's in jail right now when they were transferring children to this private island, and they had a lot of celebrities who were taking these trips and so forth and so on. And some of these people were friends of Donald Trump. We're doing this all the way around. And in the end, these young girls at the time, they were really victimized, and she was found guilty. Of course, they all say, allegedly I didn't do it, but it's just heinous.
Yeah.
When you get these young women, and in the music industry, they do have a connection with some dangerous people, and fear can be the case, because if you ruin their career, you can lose your life.
I think you were referring to the Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, and his girlfriend, whose name was Ghislaine Maxwell, and I think she got like life for that, like for the human trafficking and all that. So, exactly. I mean, whew.
Well, when you said human trafficking, let me remind you, that's part of the accusation against P. Diddy. By the way, that's too. Also an additional.
Well, this is actually what I wanted to ask you. Do you think that this P. Diddy situation will end up being almost like a R. Kelly situation, whereas this one allegation ends up bringing out everything else that was rumored, and it brings it out as being true? Do you think something like that may happen in this case?
Yeah, I do. And I think that the cases are, while they're similar, they're also different, because we do discuss entertainment news. So in R. Kelly's case, guess what? The possibility is that he may get out, because basically in the R. Kelly's case, the relationships were consensual until later on. Then all the alleged accusations was going on, and that started basically by a bunch of women who also made other accusations. Okay, in this case with P. Diddy, this is a partnership with one person, and this is only one person that is making all these allegations and all the years in a relationship with him. So in this case, it could come out some of the other accusations, which was mentioned, dealing with men as well. That's the whole big thing. We know that's going on with that.
You weren't suggesting R. Kelly's getting out, are you?
Yeah. No, remember, he's appealing the case. Well, he's already in jail, so he's appealing the case.
I highly doubt, because you got to remember, not only did he have the case in Cook County in Illinois, but he also had stuff in New York. He had federal stuff and all that. So, I mean, he ain't getting out. I'm sorry.
I can tell you this: when it comes to the courts and it comes to finding foul play, as far as this is a big backstory with that. Like, some of the people who were on the prosecution side also had some type of relationship with R. Kelly. See, this is the whole point. This is why later on with Cassidy, the artist, this is a different story, but she clearly said she waited a long time, so she couldn't take it anymore. And then once they just newly came up with this, you have a 1 year window, 1 year, to make an accusation based on if you feel you're a victim. And so time was just about to run out for her, and that's why this is going civil.
All right. So it is almost time for us to go, but I know you had like some slides and a couple of videos that you wanted to put on real quick. So let me go to that. So this is the first one. Remember the slide you sent me that said MK Media with Kasim, actually, who was supposed to be on tonight or yesterday, from my knowledge. Explain what this, let's switch over, what this cover is about.
Well, basically, this is the Van Stone models. My brand is Van Stone, and we have professional models, we have professional artists, we have the youth who are models, and so I highlight my team.
All right.
And this is what this is about.
So that was that one. So the next one that we're looking at is, of course, your character, your
Yeah, that's
comic
what-
book character,
Roger
Mr. Roger Robbie.
That's right. And Roger Robbie represents everything that we do. Hopefully, throwing it in there with the Philly situation, we need a mascot that's going to represent Philly. Again, we got the new black woman mayor, Mayor Sherelle Parker, and Roger Robbie's been around for a while. So,
All right. And we got two small, like 15-second videos, and you can explain exactly who this person is, but it's this beautiful artist and model, the Nina Effect. Could you explain a little bit about that? And then we're gonna run these two clips.
okay, great. So, of course, she is our queen when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to women and their skills. And of course, this is Nina, formerly Nina Milano, but she's go by Nina Franco. And now, basically, it is the Nina Effect. So she has her own collection. She does art. She also does makeup, and she's a professional. And she's part of our first Van Stone Girls. So we have models that represent our organization. And this is her brief video.
Okay. So yeah, we're looking at the second video. So is there anything else that you want to say about that while this runs?
Well, no, but I mean, you know, it's just a shout out as to who she is, and this empowers women, you know, that they can really believe in themselves and show their beauty in the best way possible, elegantly, stylishly, skillfully.
Well, I think you said you're going to get her on the show, correct?
Well, she's always been a part of our team, so we're working on it. We haven't had a chance to have her actually on any of our live shows, but she's been a part of our radio station in the past. She's listened to the music, and she's with us all the time.
All right, so we are about to get out of here. So I just wanted to get the last from both Van and Warren. I don't know who wants to go first. If anybody had anything final closing. As a matter of fact, let me go to Warren. Warren, since you came in late, is there anything that you wanted to bring up? Warren.
Well, getting back to the Diddy situation, when you have situations like this, maybe this might be the tip of the iceberg, but when you're talking about characters like R. Kelly and perhaps people like Diddy who are shrouded with people and who are opportunists, and they would like to take advantage of stuff like that. But eventually, I think a person's character comes out. And maybe this is a situation where its true character is coming out, and that some people, you know, they're just victims of their own success. But other than that, we want people to stay tuned to what we're doing here. And we're going to be talking more about opportunities with the youth and the modeling, and I like all the different things that we got in store for the coming 2024.
All right. And Van, anything in closing?
Well, just keep joining us as we're getting ready to go into Thanksgiving. We may go live and have a Thanksgiving show. I think we had one last year. We may have one this year.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, you know, be strong as we're trying to make all our Philadelphians strong. And of course, once again, yes, congratulations to Mayor-elect Sherelle Parker, but we'll be also congratulating some of the other city council persons as well. We got a big LGBTQ community that we support, and we're going to talk about all of these positive things as we just going to get more and more explosive in each show.
All right. And I would just like to say in closing, I appreciate Van and Warren joining me tonight, and as always. And I would also like to thank everyone out there who actually took the time to watch when I'm doing this. Takes a while to prepare for it. This is live. I'm doing it live. I'm not taping anything and running anything later. So sometimes mistakes happen. Actually, I think tonight was flawless. That's good.
Yeah, but guess what? You told me to remind you to save it in the OCD.
OCD? No,
That's
you
a
mean
joke.
you mean the
said make-
OBS, not
remind
the
you to
OCD.
Save the show.
We're not obsessive compulsive. Well,
Right. But,
I kind of am about the way this looks. Anyway, that's
But-
a whole nother
but
story.
did I remind you good enough? You're going to save it in the queue?
No, I actually did, and the time to remind me would have been when you first got on the Zoom.
Oh, okay.
But I remember doing it anyway. So anyway, thank you everyone for joining me. Let me switch back to
Happy
scene one.
Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy
right, and-
Thanksgiving.
You know what? That is a great idea for us to do a Thanksgiving show.
Yes.
We did it last year.
Yeah, so we'll probably see you next week. All right, everybody.
Next Thursday.
Have a
Sure.
wonderful evening. All right.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
We don't have time for spills.
Next. We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot?
Helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.